So this one is not really like a real world context for inverse relation, but the way they're being phrased, they phrase it differently for you to find the value of k. It's not the usual when x is equal to something, y equal to something. You can find your k direct. Okay, so how we're going to set up for this kind? So do your variable first. So do realize that this is the cube root. So this is an inverse relationship. So you can write it this way, or you can write it this way. Doesn't matter. So maybe in this question, it's easier if you write it as the second way, because we actually would like to explore the difference in y. So if you read carefully, we are checking out the difference in the y value. So what do we mean by difference? That means we are subtracting. So we are subtracting something like big Y minus small y. Okay, so how are we going to find out what is the y value that we're subtracting? So for example, like this. So when x is equal to 8, it will give you a y value. So it actually gave you a half k. So there is also another x here. So if I got another x, so obviously I get another y value. So in fact, I got a 1/3 k. So remember, we are interested in taking the difference. That means I'm interested to subtract the y value. But I got to decide which one is the bigger y and which one is the smaller y. So if you look half k and 1/3 k, I think half k is the bigger y value, 1/3 k is the lower y value, and the difference is 4. So you can punch calculator, you will get 1/6k, and from there k is 24. So the equation will be 24 over cube roots of x. So their way of finding the value of k is very different. So to find the value of k, we try to do a subtraction in the respective y value. So another alternative is they can ask you to add up the y value. So there should be a y value that corresponds to a subsequent x value. So your understanding will be when x is equal to 8, it gave you a y value. When x is equal to 27, it gave you another value. So in this question, we will take the difference between the y value. Okay, so this part is the difference in the y value. So there's a bit of English involved, so that confuses you. But otherwise, it's just subtracting y values. Okay, then subsequently you can use the question, the equation to answer part B. So in case some of you may have issue, what happened when y is equal to 3? So you got 3 equal to 24 over this. Some of you may have a mind block. So you still go for your cross multiply. Okay, slowly divide. So some of you may be affected by the cube root. So you throw the cube root, it will become a cube. So the opposite of cube root is cube, the opposite of square root is square. And you can do a check. If let's say you return this number here, So you can bunch calculate the cube root of 512. Does it give you a 8? So this is a different way of telling you about K.